Right now we have legal practitioner Alexander Afenyo-Markins, who weighs in on challenging traditional customs and also the comments by the Ghana Traditional Council.
Any said customary practice which is inconsistent with the Constitution can be challenged. You know, Chapter 5 of the Constitution deals with human rights, and once a particular practice affects the rights of a person, the Constitution allows the person to challenge it, or any aspect of customary practice which infringes on any right, which is inconsistent with any aspect of the Constitution, can be challenged in the courts. Going to court would not be to escalate a problem. Going to court would mean to get a matter determined or resolved by the court. Because if there is a traditional practice that in this area you are not supposed to walk after sex, obviously it's against my human rights, freedom of movement. If I close from work at 5:30 and I'm getting to my house at 6, it means that I don't have to come, because maybe somebody says the gods who may be moving at time and all that. Such a practice obviously is inconsistent with the Constitution, so a person can challenge it. It depends on a particular practice. A court would always weigh the balance of benefits. Okay, your interest, the interest of the traditional authority, and the particular customary practice which is being plain off, and determine whether or not it will serve the best interest of society to uphold the practice, or to allow that practice to give way to the Constitution and other laws. So it's a case by case situation. But if the traditional authority, for instance, say that within a certain period, 3 days or 4 days, they are observing a particular ritual, so don't do this after 6, the court is likely to uphold, to balance convenience.
Right now, Numo Blafo is the president of the Ghana Council of Wulome, and he shares his views on obeying traditional customs.
Any community you reside in, you need to respect their customary laws, because these customary laws are laws that have existed even before the Constitution, and those are laws that the people have governed themselves with from time immemorial. That is why the Constitution recognizes those laws, and they are not in contradiction with the Constitution. They are allowed under the Constitution. So it's very important that people respect laws, because, you know, in time past, things do happen. They will say maybe don't go to the riverside to fetch water, maybe on a certain day. You might go and you won't come back. Go into this forest, maybe to harvest firewood on a particular day, or don't go to your farms on a particular day. You go, you meet things you wouldn't like to see, or you go and you don't come at all. So those laws have existed from time immemorial, and we still need to continue. We know people have been doing it, especially when all these foreign religions came, especially Christianity, Islam, and all that. People hide behind those religions and say, me, this thing is fetish, is this, is that, me, I'm a Christian and I won't. But we should also look at the kind of issues that arises daily in the country. Do not happen. Do happen now. If we look, people are dying very young, which wasn't the case before. Because I know that before someone's death, it will be an old person.
Numo Blafo, however, denies the Ghana Traditional Council linked the June 3 disaster to the Doomsor Vigil.
This is the statement. And there's nowhere in the statement that they attributed the Dumsor Vigil, the tragedy that happened on June 3rd, to the Dumsor Vigil. They mentioned the Dumsor Vigil in passing. They mentioned this May 9 disaster, which culminated in the deaths of some football fans. And that thing happened during a ban on drumming and noise making. And then they mentioned Bukom Banku and Naiti Powers fight, which also they held was held during a ban on drumming and noise making, which they said they were displeased with that. Because, during such fanfares, there are all kinds of noises and all that, you understand? And then they also mentioned that even the vigil was a second option that was agreed on, because it was to be a demonstration. And when they intervened, the second option was the vigil. You understand? So they didn't say the June 3rd tragedy happened because of the Dumsor Vigil. They were just mentioning how people try to flout the rules. You understand? They are simple rules. For just 1 month, let's be silent to seek our own good. And then, you know what happens? Churches will be doing all sorts of things. Pastors will be... this year there was even some group who wanted to even go to the Supreme Court for whatever. You understand? But it boils down to respect for elders and then the natural laws that exist within each community. Because we all know that the saying is, when you go to Rome, you do what Romans do. And if you can't do what the Romans do, then what do? You have to leave Rome. As simple as that. But it isn't a straightforward fatwa that people from non-indigens will pack their bag and baggage and leave. No. In fact, when we pray as Gans, there is a part that we say, Able Kumaba Kumawo, that is, non-indigens should come and live with us. So why would we say they should leave? Why would we turn around and say they should leave?
Numo Blafo is the president of the Gardanme Council of Wulome, and he clears the air there about that statement that was attributed to the Traditional Council about linking the June 3 disaster to the Dumsor Vigil. I guess we can all now be comfortable living here in Accra.